Hey guys, it's Andrea. I thought we could talk a little bit about my great grandparents. Now, these are the grandparents of my grandmother, Andre Easley, whom you remember I read all those letters from her husband, James, to her during World War II. These are her grandparents. I'm going to put some pictures of them now, right after I tell you. It's going to be Huldah Zimmerman and Charles Walker. Now, they had a very sad, tragic life in total of what they went through. So let's start with some pictures here. I got a lot of this information from Martha, as you see right here. This was my grandmother, Andre's cousin. These two were grandchildren of Huldah and Charles. There's my grandmother's mother, my great-grandmother, Malcolm, and my great-grandfather, Henry. There is Gay. If you remember some of Andre's letters mentioning Gay, they're assuming Charlotte's taking the photo. So I still haven't got to see Charlotte, y'all. But that's Huldah and Charles. Charles was a newspaper man. They moved around quite a lot. He owned several newspapers. He was a writer. You know, he wrote news articles, etc. Of course, she was a kept house. So we've got that. And I've got this Martha gave me. When I interviewed Martha, she was in her 90s. She has since passed, unfortunately. I'll show you a picture of her in her older days, too. She gave me a lot of this stuff, and I'm so thankful to the information and the stuff she gave me. Martha Bunn was her married name, Martha Zimmerman. So this says, this belonged to Huldah Zimmerman Walker, grandmother of Martha Walker Bunn, who died in 1946. Someone brought it to her from Jerusalem. So there you see this piece of wood. It says Jerusalem on it. And then some writing. So I thought that was pretty cool. Now, Huldah died in 1946 as a result of being hit by a car, y'all, as a pedestrian. She died of her injuries. That was just the cherry on top of their life, I tell you what. First and foremost, they only had one surviving child, which was Martha's daddy. Now, why I'm saying that, I don't know, because obviously she had two surviving children, Douglas and my great-grandmother, Malcolm. Hence, I wouldn't be here if she didn't have Malcolm, too, so just ignore me on that section. He lived to be 97. Here he is, Dizzy Walker. Now, he was the first child. Their second child, Salome, Salome, she died when she was 18 years old and 1 month. I'm going to show you her death certificate right now. It reads, I don't have it in front of me as I'm talking to y'all, but I'm going to show you a close-up of that cursive of the cause of death. If I remember correctly, died of boric acid, I think it said, taken to frighten parents. And that story is that she got married at 18 to a man that the family did not approve of. Apparently, they had a falling out. They had a fight. She ran home into her parents' home where her brother was, Dizzy. He was like 3 years older than her. So he was probably 21, something like that. She ran to the bathroom, got some cleaning detergent from underneath the sink and drank it and instantly died in his arms. So I showed y'all the obit. Let's see the article that Charles Walker wrote about his daughter's death in 1911. I knew none of this till Martha told me. Okay. Salome, beautiful daughter of Charles N. and Huldah Z. Walker, died in Paragould, November 14th. Salome, daughter of Charles and Huldah, age 18. Oh, 18 in a few days. A few days, not a month. The hardest task I have undertaken is this I am doing now, paying a tribute to the memory of my daughter, Salome. The greatest sorrow I have ever known was when I saw her in the embrace of death, and yet I have lost my father and mother, and I do not believe any son was ever more dutiful to his parents than I was, or ever loved his mother and father more fondly than I loved mine. One of them is asleep in the city of the dead near New York, my mother. The other is in a... What is that? Sepulture in faraway Dakota, my father. Salome, blessed child of a noble mother, is asleep. I hope in the arms of him who said, "Come unto me, ye weary laden, and I will give you rest." Her funeral was simple, in keeping with her life, and at her grave, Catholics and Protestants seemed to mingle their sorrows with ours. Reverend F.R. O'Sullivan of the Catholic Church and Reverend A.J. Hess of Columbus, Kentucky, of the Baptist denomination, delivered short addresses. The stories of this city were close to her and those who loved her in honor. The interment was at sunset. As the child of our flesh and blood was lowered into the earth, the sun sank. And there and that, oh my gosh. It's choking me up. The sun sank, and there in that almost weird hour we bade the sun take a message to God to forgive our child and the husband for whom she gave her life. Martha said that they blamed him for what happened. Whew. Mrs. Walker and I can never imagine the kindness of the people of this city. Not a few, but of hundreds. Without the comfort that kind words bring, we would have been unable to stand the mental strain. The letters which follow are from our friends. They give us hope and assist us to bear the burden that only God knows how heavily it rests upon us. This issue of the Portville Critic I dedicate to the memory of my child, Salome, Charles N. Walker. Here's some letters. New York City, November 17th. My dear brother and Huldah. Okay, this was written by my great aunt. I have just received the sad news of darling Salome's death. It is most dreadful, and I am heartbroken. Whew. I was arranging a surprise for her. I haven't read these since I got it. So it's been a while. It's been probably about 10 years since I've read these. I was arranging a surprise for her. It was going to write her to come and stay with me and to try to forget her troubles. I was planning to write her this Sunday, giving full instructions. She wrote me all her sufferings and she knew I would understand. She called me, "Sweet Auntie," and said, "You are the auntie of 14 years ago," when she visited me, and that I had not changed, and that my face was full of sweetness. Think of it. With suffering in her heart, sufficient for a dozen older ones, and yet the joy she saw in my poor face. We are grieving, brother, about her. And yet, my God, how much better off than we poor mortals about her, than we poor mortals here on earth, trying to get happiness where there is none, trying to deceive ourselves that we will attain in spite of all. Oh, what an ignis fatuus is this thing we call happiness. You and Huldah must bear up bravely. It is all you can do. Our dear Salome is up yonder with him who will make all plain to her understanding. God bless you both and the children. It will not be many years before we must all lie down to the same pleasant dream. Fondly, your sister. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. DeWitt, Missouri, November 18th. My dear Mrs. Walker, words cannot express the sympathy I have for you and Mr. Walker in your bereavement. I know you are perfectly heartbroken. I could not understand or believe the girl whom I have been so interested in and loved so well, who seemed so light-hearted and carefree only a short time ago, is gone from us in death. Oh, I was so in hopes she would forget her marital troubles, for she was young, and have a happy life yet. If only I could find words that would give comfort to you. But at such time as this, it seems that words fail us. But believe me, you have my truest thoughts and deepest sympathy. I am ever yours, Elva G. Davis. Columbia, Tennessee, November 20th. My dear cousin Huldah, we were so shocked to hear of Salome's sudden death. In fact, we can scarcely realize that it is so. We so sympathize with each of you in this your hour of great trouble. I know that God never puts more on us than we can bear, though it seems hard. With love and sympathy, Addie. New Madrid, Missouri, November 17th. Dear friend, my heart goes out in profound sympathy to you and your family. Sincerely yours, Albert O. Allen. Piggott, Arkansas, November 20th. Mr. and Mrs. C.N. Walker, accept my offer of condolence in your hour of trial. 'Tis said that, unable to read this paragraph, that she would visit us again soon. I was so attached to her, and she almost as near to me as my own daughter. My daughter and Maggie, Salome's friends, join me in sending heartfelt sympathy to you and your family in your awful bereavement. We must submit to the will of God. I am sure your daughter was a Christian lady, and that she and you will meet in heaven. Pray for me that my trouble may vanish, and that the few remaining days of my life may brighten, and that in the end I will join you and Salome in the beautiful beyond. Sincerely yours, Isam Haru. Nashville, Tennessee, November 18th. Dear, dear Mr. Walker, you cannot imagine the shock we received at learning of your daughter's death. I wire my sympathies. Yours sincerely, Dick Maple. Columbia, Tennessee, November 20th. Dear Cousin Huldah, we were so shocked to hear of Salome's sudden death, and oh, that's the same page. Yeah, it says duplicate, sorry. It's in there twice. Okay. Columbus, Kentucky, November 16th. In honor of bereavement, in the hour of bereavement is only perchance that anything can be said or done, even by the most intimate friends, to make those who mourn feel different. As one of your friends, Mr. Walker, I want to say me and mine are sorry, and sympathies as best we know how with you and yours. God bless you, Nelson Bears and wife. Blytheville, Arkansas, November 19th. My dear friends, we were indeed shocked last night upon receiving funeral notice of the death of Salome, your dear daughter. I do not know what to say at such a time. Words seem so empty, and I guess they couldn't understand what he wrote, or she wrote. When our hearts are crushed in grief, it seems hard to give up on our children. We had planned so much for their future. But our way is not God's way. We are sorry we could not be with you in the saddest hour of our lives, of your lives. Our love and sympathy go out to you, for we know the trials. We have been robbed of one of our dear ones that is ever in our minds and sleeping or awake. I feel her presence ever near. We have the assurance that God sends these things on us. We know He never puts on us more than we can bear. He will sustain us through all this. God alone can comfort our sorrow. May He give you strength to bear this and take up life's duties. You cannot imagine how it hurts me. Although I have never witnessed any death in our family, I think I know how to sympathize. Of course, we have all got to die in a certain way. This was Salome's way, and was probably for the best. We cannot tell. I will not ask you not to grieve, for it is but natural. But I do ask you to take a look at the brighter side. Yours lovingly, Celia Hollenbeck. Clinton, Kentucky, November 20th. Dear Huldah and Mr. Walker, words are inadequate to express to you my profound sympathy in your recent loss in the death of Salome. Your friend, Maria W. Redmond. Dexter, Missouri. I have just noticed the death of your daughter recorded in the Colliersville Democrat. Life is a tragedy because death is the end, unless there be something better than either life or death afterward. In the darkness, a hand is held out to us which we cannot see. Only by faith do we feel the fingers of the everlasting Father. Words of even our dear one's friends are poor comfort to those so wrought upon those of you and your good wife. Believe me, you have the sincerest sympathy in this dark hour. God bless you both and all. Your friend, sincerely, Edward P. Crow. Columbus, Missouri, November 17th. Dear Mr. Walker and Huldah, I write this to you in this sad hour of bereavement. Not to offer, for that is impossible. McKenzie, Tennessee, November 19th. Dear Charles, those who have drunk deep on the dregs of sorrow alone can sympathize in a true sense with those to whom the cup is offered. I know nothing of the crushing, heart-bursting sorrow which you are called upon to suffer. But with a wife, a favorite sister, and my firstborn lying beneath the wind-swept sod of the western plains, I think perhaps I have entered the antechamber of the carnal house of sorrow, that today is the dwelling place of your and Mrs. Walker's affections. In the hour of death, hope sees a star, and listening love hears the rustle of a wing, was said by one bowed down by sorrow, but he knew no grief like this, like thine, Charles. Charles, I sympathize with you. I love Salome with love almost equal to my own. She was lovable but despondent, gay but sad, not good and wise, but not faultless. May her soul that was so storm-tossed by the waves of annoyance, grief, and trouble that rock every boat launched upon the troubled sea of time, rest peaceful in the haven of glory divine. Charles, I am sorry for you. I know not the marital surroundings. I only know that you are called upon to drink of the cup far more bitter than the cup of hemlock offered to Socrates. I know that few have been called upon to experience such poignant grief. May he who prayed, saying, Father, if thou wilt be willing, remove the cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done. Bear part of thy burden, Charles, and finally gather you and yours around the great. I realize that when the summons comes to one of our own, the genuine sympathy of friends offers but little solace, and that the family, in great measure, must tread the wine-press alone. May God bless you and help you look through the cloud to see the bright star of hope, and may we be able to see our dear ones' bright jewels among heaven's crown. Your friend, Ida Mott. Benton, Missouri, November 19th. Dear Mrs. Walker, my best friend, I have just learned of your sorrow in the death of Salome. Oh, if I could only be with you tonight to help you in your grief. My heart aches for you and Mr. Walker and the children. I love the dear girl, and it makes me so sad to know that she is gone. It seems like some horrible nightmare to me. I love you so much that I'd be glad to help you bear the burden if I could. For old time's sake, dearie, there can no sorrow or trouble come to you or yours that does not also cast its shadow on me. You have been and shall always remain in my heart a dear, good friend, and one who I love better than any other friend I have known. May he who cares for us all give you and yours strength to bear your sorrow. Your sincere friend, Effie Gale. Columbus, Missouri, November 16th, Mr. and Mrs. Walker. My heart goes out to you in sympathy for the death of Salome, which was the saddest and most surprising news I ever received. Your loving friend, R.S. Mott. Columbus, Kentucky, November 17th. Dear Huldah, my heart goes out to you and Mr. Walker in this, your hour of greatest sorrow, and I only wish I could be with you. Perhaps I could be of a little comfort to you. Salome wrote to me only last week. How fragile is the thread of life. Words sound so cold. I wish I could express to you how much Salome's death has affected me. Everyone who speaks of it expresses so much sorrow for you and Mr. Walker. Wishing for all of the family, all that can be bestowed in this life, I am devotedly Daisy, says Zimmerman in parentheses, so she's a relative of Huldah's. Clinton, Kentucky, November 17th. My dear Mr. and Mrs. Walker, words cannot express how grieved I am, nor how deeply I sympathize with you in the loss of your darling girl. My heart goes out to you in sincerest sympathy in your great sorrow. May God bless and comfort you all. Your true friend, Mamie Louise Benthal. Bardwell, Kentucky, November 20th. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Walker, we read the sad story of dear Salome's death. Our hearts are sad, but we sorrow not as those who have no hope, and we believe she is saved. After the sorrow of this life is over with you and your family, may you be saved. It is the wish of your friends, Joe and Jenny Radcliffe. Bernie, Missouri, November 18th. Dear Mrs. Walker, today I received the news that Salome was dead. My God, can it be true? But thy will be done. I was so in hopes, illegible, your beautiful and dearly beloved Salome. I pray that time, the great healer, may bring light out of the shadows. Lovingly and sympathetically, Maria L. Pennybaker. Oh my goodness. This stuff is heart-wrenching, isn't it? I think it's the worst thing that could happen to anyone is to lose a child. Chaffee, Missouri, November 18th, 1911. My dear comrade Walker, words cannot tell what my feelings were when I opened your letter of the 16th. I had met Salome but a few times, yet I had formed a very high opinion of her from her ladylike appearance. Of course, words are empty and mocking to those of us who are bowed under a load of grief. I try to weigh my sympathies by placing my own daughter in Salome's place, then I think I can appreciate the void in your heart and home. There begins here no joy, but there finds an end. Such is the condition of this troublesome world. She has missed a sea of sorrow and trouble, but as her vision of this life broadened, she would have been bound by the inequity of things. You can but rest your burden upon him that doeth all things well. Please convey my sympathy to Mrs. Walker, and of course, the blow falls hardest, if possible, upon the mother. Again saying that you have my heartfelt sympathy, I remain your comrade in your sorrow, Lee Massey. These letters were not published with any view as to show, but because we appreciate them. We hate pomp and show. We love the simple life, and there is not one of our friends but loves it. We have led the life of slave for those we loved, and we could not have loved with a stronger love than we had for her to whom we would have given our life to have saved hers. Christ never wended his way to the cross with a firmer tread than we would have entered the jaws of hell to have saved this beautiful and intelligent, though not always obedient, daughter. Oh my gosh. Whew. My mom didn't even know about this when I told her. That nobody talked about it. In fact, Martha, in this newspaper article, talks about she didn't even know that she had this aunt, that her father never told her any of it. And remember, he was the one that was holding her as she died. Whew. Let's see what she has to say. She talks about the other child in this too, but let's find out there's Martha. That's what she looked like when I met with her, and she was so sweet. Okay, let's see. Talks about World War I. Okay, that's about Cornelius Walker. Hold on. Okay, the article is about the son. All right, so not only did they lose Salome, they lost their other son, Robinson Cornell Walker. He died in action in World War I at 18 years old as well. And this is where Martha, it says in the article how she found out about it, going through the attic. Here is his picture. This is like a tintype. So he died not long after he went over in France. He's buried in France. So that's their second loss, because she died in 1911. He would have died probably 1918, something like that. Let's see. She found a letter he had written to Huldah in the box. I was stunned by what I found in the box, says Bunn, who for the first time in her life was able to put a face on what had always been a blurry figure in the Bunn family history. Besides the picture, there was part of a letter that Walker, who was older then, had written home shortly before he went over there in 1918. This is what he wrote. If I go over there and get killed, well, I'm ready to meet God. If I do come home, I will be happy. Don't worry about me. I get all I can eat, and all the rest I care for. The Army is a good place, if only you try to like it. Chicago is a beautiful city. I wish you all could have seen it. He went into battle during the... I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Can y'all read that? Offensive on September 26, 1918. It was the largest battle ever fought by U.S. troops, 600,000 of them up to that time, and it was the last great battle of the war. 2 days after it began, Walker was killed on September 28th, barely 6 weeks before the truce was signed on November 11th. Bunn figures the uncle she never knew was only 18 years old when he was killed in a French battlefield and buried nearby. Eventually, the boy's mother, along with other Gold Star mothers, was given a trip overseas to visit her son's grave. We have lots of memorabilia from that, y'all. Martha gave them all to me. See what else she has more to say about it, too. Oh, because the Gold Star mothers, and the widows were the only ones that were given the voyage. And here it says, Bunn's father would have also liked to have gone over there. Oh, the brother. He wrote to her, his mother, I would like to be with you when you visit Robinson's grave. Tell him I have thought of him every day since he died. Then it goes on to say that Martha actually went over there and visited the grave in France. She didn't tell me about that. Also, for the strangest part of the story, it happened the night Private Walker was killed. My grandmother, who was a very logical, hard-working woman, awakened her husband 3 times that night. She told my grandfather, that's Charles, to wake up, that Robinson was calling her. My grandfather told her to go back to sleep. She was having a bad dream. I know it's strange, but my grandmother was not a theatrical person. Robinson called to her 3 times, and later they found out that was the time he died. Whew. My gosh, y'all. Can you imagine all the tragedy for these poor people? Okay, here's all the memorabilia. Apparently, Huldah saved everything. Here's one of the ships she was on. This is the SS George Martin, Gold Star Mother Pilgrimage. Gold Star Mother or widow is people that lost their son or their husband. They were killed in action. So this was New York, 1930 is when she sailed on that ship. Souvenir log, twin screw SS George Washington, from Hamburg to Southampton to New York. Ocean passage, 7 days, 56 minutes. The American Way to and from Europe. Then she has this identity card. American Pilgrimage. Gold Star Mothers and Widows. This bearer of this card, Miss Huldah Walker, is in France to visit the grave of her son, who lost his life in the World War. She is a member of the official pilgrimage organized by the United States government called Gold Star Mothers Pilgrimage. Her address in Paris is Hotel Commodore. You're requested to give her aid or assistance if needed. Richard Ellis, Colonel, United States Army, officer in charge. And then here it is all in French. Here's her invitation. The government of the United States extends an invitation to Miss Huldah Walker to make pilgrimage to the cemetery in Europe where the remains of her son are now interred. Leaving New York on the steamship Harding on May 14th, 1930. So she was, May 14th, and she didn't get there till June, I'm pretty sure. And she kept, this is the American Church of Paris. I guess this is where they did the ceremony. May 25th, May 25th, 1930, official service of the Federal Council of Churches. And here's the procession. She also kept every menu. This woman after my own heart, right? I would have done the same. United States Lines, SS George Washington Luncheon. So let's read some of these. Now, this is 1930, y'all. Oh, she wrote on it. Okay. I don't think I noticed this before. Sunday, June 8th, 1930. Heard a wonderful sermon at 11 o'clock. The something was, O laborers with God. The speaker felt the words he spoke. He was an elderly man, and as the Spirit led, his features became young with enthusiasm. At 8 o'clock, the Catholics worshipped at the 45. The Episcopalians was helped, all read from their prayer book. At 5 o'clock, we will have singing in the social hall. So we've got luncheon, hors d'oeuvres, salad Diana, queen olives, brown onions, fillet of herring, mixed pickles, eggs, Nisa style, calf's brain, cold buffet, veal, squab a la orange, that's pigeon, isn't it? Leg of spring lamb, Brussels sprouts, Westphalia ham, tenderloin, roast beef with dill pickles, baked Prague ham. Soup, cauliflower cream, cold beef broth, consomme. Then they have a bunch of fish, melted or mustard butter, broiled fish haddock, French mackerel, béarnaise sauce, seafood salad, poached eggs, fried eggs with broiled Yorkshire ham, filet mignon with fresh mushrooms, Manhattan beef and kidney stew, oatmeal fritter, pork sausages, breakfast bacon, chopped beef steak, asparagus tips, risotto, stuffed eggplants, potatoes, broiled, baked, hash and cream, and broiled sweet. Neapolitan ice cream. Stewed prunes. Yum. All the cheeses. Coffee and tea. Isn't that cool? Look at this little telegram. St. Louis, Missouri, April 29th, 1930. Dear W.R. Marsh, Miss Huldah Walker of Piggott, Arkansas, will occupy lower 6-car 41 St. Louis to New York on train 4, the Chesapeake Limited, leaving St. Louis Sunday, May 11th. Mrs. Walker is a Gold Star mother, and it will be appreciated if you will show special attention advising crew to do likewise en route. J.G. Van Norstel. Homeward Bound at Sea, June 10th, 1930. So she was gone like a month. This is like thanks to people. Thanks to the workers and etc. This says, flag hung in window of Huldah and Charles Walker when their son R.C. Walker was away in World War. He was killed in action. This is the flag that they hung in their window. That's her voucher card. American Pilgrimage. Paris to Cherbourg. Mrs. H. Walker. And here's where she wrote a letter while on board of the SS George Washington, May 7th, 1930. Started on the ship May 5th. Reached Ireland May 6th, about 2:30 in the afternoon. Stayed there 1 hour. They came on board of the ship to sail fairly shallows and something. They came on board the ship to sail Farvey, Shalls, and something. I have a hard time reading her writing, if y'all can help with that. That night at 10 o'clock, it looked as though we're 6 o'clock at home, with the scenery along the shore of Ireland was gorgeous. Last night, May 6th, we were told to set our watches back 1 hour and a half. May 7th came into right and found the Catholics at worship. I knelt too. Their devotion touched me. It was not the high rolling of the waves, for I know Jesus can still the waves, as he did on the sea of Telluride. I was there. Something faith. They gave their best hours for worship, while we Protestants worship in a haphazard way at night, when our mental and physical natures are worn out. God grant that we awaken. Obviously, she was a Protestant. Pilgrimage, War Mothers, and Widows. May 13th, 1930, Miss Walker Huldah at Hotel Park Central, New York. Kindly remember your steamer Republic sails promptly from Hoboken, New Jersey at midnight. Dinner will be served at 6 p.m. Bus will call for you at 8 daylight time. We hope you will be ready and wish you a pleasant voyage. And here she's got a bunch of paperwork of the pilgrimage regulations. She has the American War Mother publication. This is where she stayed, I'm assuming, in Paris. She's got this sticker. Here is her cabin class accommodations. I'm not sure what this is from, but she saved this. Welcome Gold Star mothers and widows. The gray line. Pilgrimage of the Gold Star Mothers. Luncheon. Melon cocktail, essence of tomato with celery. That sounds good. There's another menu she saved. What is this? Not sure. Principal, it's a list of resorts and hotels and such. Oh gosh, I gotta, okay. Fold that back right. Here we have this card. "27th Division back to the front dinner aboard the United States liner SS Republic, President Grant, Saturday, May 7th, 1930. And it has a musical program. It has another menu. Restaurant Commodore menu. This is a handwritten menu. Lamb chop and bacon. I call for all of the Gold Star mothers to convene. This is, I believe, a picture of this battle, the site of battle. And maker of watches and clocks. Lady silver bracelet watch on silk cord. And then it has the kind of movement written there. I wonder what happened to this watch. Huh, it's like the guarantee of it, the warranty or what have you. It looks like she either bought it in France or they gifted it to her. There's another menu, handwritten. And more menus. Okay, War Department, September 23rd, 1930. Mrs. Huldah Walker, 720 Court Street, Piggott, Arkansas. Dear Madam, receipt is acknowledged of your letter of September 15th expressing your appreciation for the passport which you are permitted to keep as a souvenir of the pilgrimage you have recently made to the grave of your son, the late Private Robinson C. Walker, in this is the cemetery he was at, Meuse Argonne Cemetery, France, under the provisions of the Act of Congress approved March 2nd, 1929. It is gratifying to know that your trip was entirely satisfactory. The Quartermaster Corps is proud of the honor bestowed upon it being charged with the conduct of these pilgrimages, and has extended every effort that those making the journey might have a comfortable and pleasant trip. I feel, however, that the task during the past summer was materially lightened by the wonderful spirit of cooperation and consideration shown by the mothers and widows taking advantage of the offer of the government. Sincerely yours, J. L. DeWitt, Major General, the Quartermaster General. So that's everything about the children. And there's just a couple more things that she gave me on Huldah's that I just love. First up, we have war rations. So she died in 46. This looks to be war rations for World War II. So we have Huldah Walker, Piggott. Look, it's still got some war stamps attached to it. 5'4", 130 pounds, brown eyes, gray hair, 73 years old. Obviously, yes, this is World War II times. Issued attached war ration stamps on the 8th of December. And I think it's so crazy there's still stamps attached to this. And there she signed it. It was in pencil, so it's faded. Huldah Walker. And then this is her bank book. So there's her signature again, Miss Huldah Walker. Clay County Bank, Piggott, Arkansas. Piggott, I've been to many times. It's about 45 minutes from my house. There's a museum there in Piggott that, why can I never remember his name? The writer that wrote all the hunting stories and lived in Cuba for a while. Farewell to Arms. Why can I never remember his freaking name? Y'all know who I'm talking about, right? He lived in Piggott with one of his wives around the same time that my relatives lived there. So, yeah, they could have met and mingled. Just a little tidbit in there. So here's her bank book. This is Huldah Walker. And it's got all her checks and balances. U.S. government tax. U.S. government tax. I want y'all to see this. I was like totally... This 1938. Huh. I was thinking this is 1938? 1938. Oh, here's 1940. Yeah. Y'all, this lady was loaded. This lady. My great-great-grandmother was loaded. How about that? Because look at these totals. 1945. That's her bank balance. For $53,000 in 1945. It's like probably almost $1 million today. I think it translates up to like 800,000 or something. That's a lot of freaking money. Where did that go? 1946 balance. So she died that year. The year she died, she had $53,000 in the bank. And Martha said they lived right there on Court Street in Piggott, and the house was still standing. She said they lived in this tiny little house. This little nothing of a house. So, I just found that fascinating. I'm glad that at least... Good for them. I'm glad they had tons. I hope it gave them a little relief. That was a long one, wasn't it, guys? Tell me your thoughts. Thank you so much for listening if you stuck around the whole time. If you did stick around the whole time, Tell me. Give me a thumbs up, guys, if you like the video. Subscribe if you like to watch stuff like this, all kinds of stuff. I'll see y'all at the next one.